on your best behavior, brother.
Yes, that work. Can you see how it's framed up over there, Kim? Sure.
I don't want one. It was an accident. You okay though?
Yeah.
Good. All right.
Let me fix this.
Do we got to put tape over
He's
this?
been known to crack people over the skull with that.
I would never do that to you.
Not to you, but
All right.
It is bent.
And we are live. Welcome to another exciting of the Rinky Dink Bullshit Podcast, Season 2, Episode 29. With your host, the podcast god, SuperFly Johnny Lee. And tonight we got a doozy for you because we got inside the house. We got to my right, and my left right here. We got the man, the myth, the legend, Austin Diamond.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a pleasure to be here, and the pleasure's all yours. Johnny Lee, my friend, how are you, brother?
Doing good, brother.
I'm glad to hear
Doing
it.
very good.
Sean, you're just as ugly as the last time I saw you.
And not only that, but we got in the house
I've gotten worse.
to my right. We got the man, the myth, the legend, the man who owns it all, the Diamond Cartel's very own, Scott Diamond.
Pow! 4 rings, 4 states.
That's right.
Top that. Johnny, good to see you.
Good to see you,
Sean,
brother.
Where's my Manhattan? Every time I come here, you know I got to have a Manhattan. Without alcohol, you're going to get the rough version of Scott
I
Diamond.
can't be around alcohol.
That's right.
Yeah, every time he gets alcohol, he wants to lay down at my feet. I can't have that.
You're right. And also, across from Scott Diamond, we got the man himself. We got the Cole County Crusher and one half of Cold-Blooded.
You're damn right. I'm eager to explore this business venture and see where it goes. So I guarantee that with the Diamond Cartel, we can pave new paths and destroy new ventures.
That's right.
Without a doubt.
And
Let me
as y'all
tell you,
and
as
you can see
everything
behind
that I
there-
touch, these 2 young men right here, cold-blooded. They're going to do just like Scott Diamond did. They're going to go straight to the top, and anybody gets in their way, they're going to get mowed over.
You're
That's right.
absolutely right. It doesn't matter if I have to go down to Tennessee and mow through that bunch of hillbillies. It doesn't matter if I have to go up and see all of those incestuous Indiana morons who are living and dying on food stamps. I don't give a damn if you're anywhere between the Great Lakes and the Gulf Coast. You belong to Austin Diamond. If you are standing in the same ring as Austin Diamond on the wrong side, you're going to get your ass whipped. It doesn't matter who you are. It doesn't matter if you're the lady selling popcorn. It doesn't matter if you're some old geezer in the front row. Anybody and everybody is fair game when Austin Diamond comes on the scene. You can ask Adrian Alexander. You can ask Tony Corral, Ross Bray. You can ask Ray Bruce from down in Tennessee just the other night. It doesn't matter what it is or who you are if you're fighting for change or anything else. Austin Diamond's going to knock your ass out come hell or high water. I have gone through and I have been around some of the toughest men to ever lace up a pair of boots. And I have found everybody that I could ever want. I have found men who have started riots. I have found men from the mines who know what it means to get gritty, to get dirty, to get evil, mean, and nasty. I have found everybody I could ever want to lay under this banner. I have found riot. I have found the harbinger of pain, doomsday. And right now I have the hottest thing going. I've got the Cole County Crusher. Who better to have under this banner as another cold-blooded killer alongside myself? It's a pleasure to have you here, and I'm so glad that you and I were able to work out a little something so that we can keep doing what we do best.
As a matter of fact, I'm excited to travel this trail with you as well. And you know, there's a reason why Kentucky's above Tennessee on that map. Is because we're just that much better than they are.
Exactly.
You're damn right.
Cole rules all, and with Scott Diamond and the Diamond Cartel, it's going to rule everything else.
Damn Skippy.
Now, Johnny, let me ask you a question. You've been watching Scott Diamond for many years.
Yep.
Sean, you've been watching Scott Diamond since you was knee-high to a duck.
Yep.
Can you think of anything that these kids could have done better than come and sit under the learning tree of Scott Diamond? I'm telling you, look at the physicality of these 2 men. And when I put them under the tutelage of Scott Diamond, whoever steps in the ring across from them is going to be hurt. Not only because of their physicality, but because of the knowledge. You know, I've been on shows with Jerry Lawler, Ric Flair, my good friend. Look, rest his soul. it gets me every time. But Tracy Smothers, Tracy Smothers
Yep.
and I, we were inducted into the Hall of Fame together. He and I had sat together many, many times on the road, at dinner, at lunch. I've learned so much from all these guys over the years, and now I'm going to pass all that knowledge on to these two young men right here. And along with that knowledge and their physicality, I'll tell you, I've never been afraid of nobody, being a United States Marine, but I don't think that I would want to stand across the ring from these two young men right here, right now.
That's right. I mean, Austin Diamond right here, he's been cutting his teeth for a couple years now. Came to Kentucky, and ain't nobody can touch him. Even when he was inside the bull rope match, Tony Crowell could not touch him. Adrian Isaiah could not touch him. Nothing can touch the cold-blooded ones.
I want to go ahead and set something straight right now. Adrian, I understand that you and I aren't seeing eye to eye right now, and family fights.
They do.
We'll get back to that in a second. But Adrian, I want to let you know that I do care about you. What has transpired between you and I is not something that is done out of jealousy. It is not something that is done out of hate or any type of disposition that I have towards you. I wish you nothing but the best, but you got to understand that you don't have what it takes to be one of us anymore. You woke up one morning, and instead of doing what's best for business, you tried to start a feelings factory. Well, let me tell you something. This right here is for all the blood, sweat, and tears that men like us have left in that ring. This right here represents all the miles that we have put on the road, from the top of the country to the bottom of the country, from the East Coast to the West Coast. Adrian, I know what I've done to you might be considered a bad thing. So, Johnny, I want you to think for just a second, and to every one of the boys in the locker rooms right now watching Austin Diamond, so that you too can be like the reflection of perfection someday. I want you all to understand that's what I've done to somebody that I care about. There once was an old wise man who had looked out for me, and he and I didn't see eye to eye, so I dropped him on his head too. Johnny Lee, I've done some bad things to good people because that's what it takes. Adrian didn't have that anymore, so he became another one that got left laying. Tony Corral, I'm completely indifferent towards you because you know what, brother? If I could use that term so loosely, I think I left everything of you laying except for that hat of yours. And you know what? If there was something that you could have done about it, there's something that you would have done about it. And that's about all I got to say about that.
Exactly. He found out real quick. Austin Diamond does not play when he says he's going to do something. You tried to be his friend. You tried to be there for Tony Crowell and Adrian. And what did they do? They spit on you. They turned their back on you.
They did.
And you made sure
right
that you were the one that the fans were going to cheer for. Because I got to be honest, watching you come out there with that candlestick, the fans were going wild for you. They wasn't going wild for the guys that supposedly the good guys, the heroes. They were going wild for the cold-blooded man, Austin Diamond.
I don't have to pat myself on the back because everybody can see it just as plain as day. Austin Diamond is the best damn thing in professional wrestling today. Austin Diamond is as good as it gets. I am simply put the best damn thing since sliced bread. This is not an opinion. This is an objective statement. They don't call me the reflection of perfection because I woke up and wrote it down and asked my buddies to put me over. They don't call me the apex of excellence, the guru of greatness, the shaman of superiority, or the capital city king because I printed it out on a t-shirt. They did it because they know that I'm the man who's going to go to the ring, and I'm going to leave it all right there because I do everything that I say that I am going to do. Austin Diamond is all follow through. This is no hot air, brother. This is greatness.
That's right.
You're looking right here at a quarter ton of evil, mean, and nasty, but clean cut and classy. And I challenge you to find anybody on the scene who can compete with what we bring to the table right now.
Exactly, and you did a great thing bringing him aboard because the cold-blooded ones, that's a ruthless faction right there. This bandit right here, that's ruthless.
I'll tell you one thing. The Diamond Cartel, they've always been about hustle, about making that next town, about earning that next dollar. But with me, they've got the muscle, and that's all you got to say about that.
That's right.
When you've got brain and brawn, You have no conversation because there's no room left for any type of controversy. There's no room left for any type of debate. We are men who are strictly about business, and we get it done by any means necessary, and not everybody can handle that. And that's perfectly okay, because he who steps up gets knocked down. And that's all I've got to say about it. There is no room for anybody else to deliver their 2 cents. I don't give a damn if it makes sense, because I've always made dollars. I'm not here to look for anybody else's approval. I'm here to keep mowing them down. I'm here to keep getting more and more gold everywhere I go. Look at this man's arms. Brother, let him see it. This
Flex
right
boy.
here is evil, mean, and nasty. Austin Diamond stands at 250 pounds, my damn self. I, in my own right, am a bad, bad man. But you see, there's something that makes me just a little more dangerous than those of years past. I'm not scared to pick up the phone and make a call. I'm not scared to pick up an ink pen and write a couple of checks. I'm not scared to bury a hatchet in the interest of business. Scott Diamond, I know that you and I may have had some altercations in our time. And I'm not going to sit here and apologize to you, because that's just not the kind of guy that I am. And I'm sure that you understand that better than anybody.
Yes, I do.
But I do want to say this. It wasn't personal. It was business.
You hit the nail on the head, Johnny.
He did.
Scott Diamond and the Diamond Cartel, one thing we've always been about, we were never, ever, ever afraid to do whatever it takes. I hit a guy with a car one time. I put another guy through the windshield of his own car. And you, Austin Diamond, for what you done to me at the Bash in January, I don't hold no bones with that, because it's the same damn thing I'd have done. It's the same damn thing I'd have done. You were born into this business. You watched me your whole life, beating people up, running people over with cars, taking a kendo stick, taking cane after cane after cane. I've broken probably 1,000 canes over people's heads. I hold no ill will with that. You made me proud. Although as I laid on that ring apron, bleeding all over my new suit I just had made, mind you, that did piss me off. But you done the exact same thing that I would have done. And to follow up, it's because you, Cole County Crusher, you're doing the same thing that Scott Diamond and the Diamond Cartel would do. Anything that it takes. Anything. I have laid up $1,000 bounties. I've laid up $2,000 bounties. Hell, you took $1,500 from me at the Bash and then dropped me on my head. I don't care. I am very happy to be a part of this, because the bottom line is, again, and my point is, you're not afraid to do whatever it takes to whoever. And that's what it takes to be a winner in this sport. You cannot be afraid to do whatever it takes. And if that means you got to punch somebody in the mouth, if that means you got to hit them with their own car, if that means you got to put them through a windshield, whatever you got to do. You know, I was just saying on the way over here, way I've busted a guy in the face with a beer bottle. I would do that because that won the match. I have thrown fire because that's what it took to win that match. Whatever it takes to win a match, that's what you got to do.
Damn,
you
Skippy.
can't worry about what's going to happen after the fact. Who cares what happens after the fact? The bottom line is this. They don't give championships to people that's got a conscience. They give championships to people who are not afraid to go out there and do whatever it takes to win those championships. So I'm here for the knowledge, and I'm here to watch you two do whatever it takes to win those championships. Because when you get championships, you make money. When you make money, you live like I've always lived. And that's what it's about.
That's right.
By
And
any means necessary, we will get the job done. You can bank on that.
Exactly, because that's the way you got to do it. When you're inside this business, you got to take what's yours. It's not handed to you. You do it by any means necessary. And that's what this is all about. Y'all have come together. Even though you two have had y'all's differences, it's all about business. And with you inside their corner, nobody can touch y'all. And they'll try. but they just don't know how the Dime Cartel work.
They will be on the throne with Zeus because that's how high these cats are going to go, Johnny. I guarantee it.
That's right.
By
Cam.
hook, by crook, or by the book. That's how I was brought up. You know, I came up in this business and I learned from a young age, to pull one from a good family friend of ours, the contents of your blood means nothing to me. Blood is not what makes you family. Loyalty is what makes you family. Having some type of common goal is what makes a family. Scott Diamond, these people watched you do terrible things to good people for years. They watched you pull thousands upon thousands of dollars out. They watched you buy livelihoods off of families just so you could close the doors. I learned from the best. I learned to truly be evil, mean, and nasty. And I've got a hell of a set of footprints that I've got to overtake now. How is it that you fill shoes that left ruts at the top of a mountain? You've got to do some unscrupulous things. So, Scott Diamond, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to air out some dirty laundry because you know what? There's no better way to come and get some grievances handled than in front of everybody. You know what? We're here and we're going to talk some business because you know what? Maybe there is still just a little bit of anger, but that's what makes money. So let's talk about it. These people saw you do these terrible things, and then they saw you start to get soft, Scott Diamond. And you know what? I'm not here to make fun of you. I'm here to talk business, so I'm going to need you to keep eye contact with me while I'm talking. I'm not going to tell you twice. Austin Diamond saw you start to soften up. Austin Diamond and every one of those people saw you hesitate to throw me that chain there in January. I don't know what that was all about, but so long as this banner is waving behind me, you fought for a flag just like I do now. So I'm going to need you to understand that we're going to have some principles with this. I'm sure you can relate and understand to that.
You know, I did fight for a flag, and you're fighting for this flag. But make no mistake about it. If I need to, I will slap the piss out of you. Make no mistake about it. I may have been humbled in my 30 plus years, but that guy is still in there. So don't get it twisted. I'm here to push you to the next level. But don't ever think that if you need it, that I'm afraid to slap the piss out of you or you. I may be getting just a little bit older, but one thing you guys don't have yet is right here. Now, I appreciate everything you bring to the table. That's why I'm here, because I believe in you. I believe in both of you. But don't ever think that Scott Diamond has gotten so soft that he won't stand up and let the jarhead inside of him out, because he's there. He's there. So I'm here to push you to the next level because you got it in you. You got it in you. Both of you got it in you. Hell, you were born into this. You've seen the things that I have done. I am not afraid to do those things again. I just have been humbled by life. So I know there's more to life. And I'm on my way out. So I'm trying to use diplomacy when possible. But if diplomacy does not work, I am still not afraid to take this cane and shove it up somebody's ass. So let's don't get that twisted.
Now, Crusher, I know you can handle your own, but if you don't mind. Scott Diamond, I know that you know for the last year I've been holding it down just fine on my own. These people have come to like Scott Diamond. These people have come to know and love Scott Diamond. But what they don't realize is, once upon a time ago, there was a little boy in the back seat and in the front row who worshipped the damn ground he walked on. And I watched as that man slipped away. I watched as a man who once would do anything to anybody to get what he wanted I watched him wither away. I watched as he started to second guess himself. And I need you to understand that there's no room for that under my banner. I didn't call you because I needed you. I called you because I wanted somebody who understood where I was coming from. And I knew that there was nobody better than Scott Diamond.
That's exactly right. There is nobody better than Scott Diamond. I've done it all in this business. And you've got it a little bit mixed up because these people, it's not about they like Scott Diamond. It's not that they like Scott Diamond. They respect Scott Diamond because you have fear and you have respect. I prefer respect, but I have used fear many times. And through that fear, I have gained the respect. And that's where these people are sitting at now. That's where I'm sitting at now. I'm still not afraid to go out and use fear, but I like the respect. Not only from these fans, but in these locker rooms. And I'll use the words that was given to me. When you have men, grown-ass men, 200, 300 plus pounds with muscles upon muscles who go out every day and they joust with cars or people the size of cars. But when they turn back into little kids sitting there in front of the TV on Saturday morning because they're watching Scott Diamond, that's not because Scott Diamond got soft. It's because they respect what Scott Diamond has always brought to the table. That's what that is. It's respect, not soft.
Now, gentlemen, I think that we have gotten that out of the way. That said, let's discuss for just a second the rest of the landscape. Anybody knows that the family fight will stay within the family. For anybody across the ring, we will not have that same mercy. And that's exactly what it means to be cold-blooded. It doesn't matter if you come from the holler. It doesn't matter if you've been doing the politicking in the boardrooms. It doesn't matter if we've got to travel a few thousand miles to do it. It doesn't matter if we've got to pick up the phone to make it happen while we're thousands of miles away.
Last 6 out of the 8 days, we've been on the road.
You're damn right. So, gentlemen, I'm glad that we could get that sorted because the people deserve answers. You know, they are the ones who put us on this pedestal to begin with. Without them, there is no us. And luckily, because of them, we have been given the platform to go knock people out in front of their wives, their children, their family, their friends. We have been blessed with the ability to throw people in dumpsters, to leave them laying all over the arenas.
And a bloody mess.
In a bloody mess.
You're never going to forget that, are you? Johnny, I don't know if you know that story, but one time I had a guy.
Scott Diamond is battle-tested, shall we say.
Yes. Because he was in the Army and I was in the Marine Corps, he kept rubbing my feathers the wrong way.
Yeah.
And so one day I was driving by on the way to an event of which he was involved with, and he come out of a Denny's with his wife and his little girl.
Yeah.
You know, I almost felt bad for the wife and little girl, but not so much. And so when he came out, beat the shit out of him, myself and 2 of the members of the Diamond Cartel, we beat the shit out of him and threw him in the dumpster at Denny's. He was no longer a problem because he didn't want no more of that.
He found out real quick. Fuck around and find out.
Yes, he did. That was about 12 years ago.
Now, the Crusher doesn't have as many stories with the 2 of us as we would like.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Right on.
But
Right
don't
on.
That's a
think
good way
for
of
a
thinking.
second that he isn't one of us. Austin Diamond learned from an old wise man to do his homework. And maybe I never did it in school, but I've always done it when I was in my business. And you know, Austin Diamond, his personal life is business, and I take my business personal. So I did my research before I contacted this man. I knew that he fit our mold long before I ever hit call. This man right here has traveled the roads just like Scott Diamond and myself, and he's no stranger to leaving them laying. Crusher, tell him.
You know, I'm no stranger to using fear to get what I want. I've done it in the past. People that I disagree with, I've dragged them by the shirt collar down deep into the mine and dared them to claw their way out. I've shut the lights on them, and I've made sure that they understand my point. But this time, when I stepped out of that mine, I've left people behind, yeah. I've taken people's respirators, I've crushed them in front of them, but that only made them tougher. That only put more pressure on them as a human being to become what I knew that they could be. You see, that's exactly what I'm doing to myself here with the Diamond Cartel, because what happens when you put pressure on a lump of coal?
He becomes a diamond, baby.
Becomes a diamond.
Damn, Skippy.
Becomes a diamond.
I'm here to test myself against the likes of these people who have traveled up and down the highways and byways of this country. One who has served it. And I want to find out the next test. I want to see who else can test me, or even if they can test me. I'm known for my strength, and this is no different. I'm just trying to find the next strongest person to face me and test my limits.
And you made the right decision, because doing good by people, being goody two-shoes, that ain't the way. You made the right decision when you answered this man's call. You're now cold-blooded for life.
You're damn right I am. And what prouder of a moment than this here to celebrate it?
That's right.
With something as powerful as this, anybody who's ever been on the street for any amount of time can tell you it is blood in and blood out.
Right on.
That's the way that we have always operated. It takes a tough son of a bitch to stand shoulder to shoulder with somebody like us. This man has traveled the very same roads that we have. He has stood many of the same grounds that Scott Diamond and Austin Diamond have stood. And I'm here to tell you, I think he's going to stand the test of time. I think that just like any other diamond, I think this man right here is going to be forever. Riot, you and I have done some work together over at Elite Wrestling Alliance. I was able to finagle him up out of the funny house. I got him up out of the farm, and he served his purpose very well. I'd like to think that maybe someday I can put Riot alongside the Crusher right here, and maybe, just maybe, we can cause a little havoc together. The Harbinger of Pain, Doomsday. I'd like to see him alongside myself once more. But so long as Austin Diamond has cell service, a checkbook, a pen, and a microphone, Austin Diamond will live and die as a dangerous man.
That's right. Because when people see Austin Diamond in the Diamond Cartel, they're going to remember this banner right here. This right here tells everyone exactly what you're all about, what the cartel is all about.
Johnny, that is going to be the Diamond Cartel 2.0 right there.
That's right.
That is taking the Diamond Cartel into the next future, to the next millennia. It's not going to be the Diamond Cartel. The Diamond Cartel was probably the foundation for this, but that is going to be the Cartel 2.0, because that's cold-blooded. And just like the cartel was, they're out for blood. They're out to prove themselves, and I believe that they're going to do just that.
And really every hillbilly hick in Tennessee better keep your eyes watching, because that's the truth.
They just learned. They just learned the last couple of days we've been in Tennessee. When we left, there was nobody that we was in the ring with standing. We were not together down there. We were in separate matches. But when I left that semi-main event, a street fight, there was nobody standing. When he was into the ring with Ray Bruce, and let me say this right off the bat, Ray Bruce, if you're a promoter, a booker out there, and you see the name Ray Bruce, book this kid. Book this kid. Get him onto the podcast. Because this kid, look, I've always been about giving credit where credit is due. Whether they're good, bad, or indifferent, I will say exactly that. Ray Bruce is going to have a big future in the sport of professional wrestling. Ray Bruce is a good-looking kid. He's got muscles upon muscles. He looks good. He works good. He's a good wrestler. But he just didn't have what it takes because he came to wrestle and Austin Diamond came to fight. That was the difference right there. But if you're a booker, you're a promoter, and you see Ray Bruce, book this kid. You won't be disappointed. And Ray Bruce, I'll say this to you right here. Looking right here, you and me, look into my eyes. Ray Bruce, you have an opportunity to be something big in this business. But son, you got to expect the unexpected and never take your opponent for granted. And I think that's what you did over the weekend, and that's why Austin Diamond came out on top. Because Austin Diamond was not afraid to do whatever it takes. And you, my friend, you just didn't get it. You excuse me, you underestimated your opponent, and you should never ever do that because you've seen what he got you.
Exactly, because if you're going to be taking on Austin Diamond, you got to be ready for a fight. Don't be coming in there thinking that this is going to be just a regular wrestling match. You got to be thinking you're going to have to fight tooth and nail because Austin Diamond is already preparing for a fight. He's not come here to wrestle you in the traditional way. He's here to dismantle you and take you out.
We do not come to wrestle.
That's right.
Period. Did you hear him earlier? It's the motto of the Diamond Cartel. It's the motto of Cold Blooded.
That's right.
Evil, mean, and nasty. Not wrestle, shake hands, and kiss babies.
That's right. And you know what? The opponent should have known that by now.
We don't come to wrestle. We come to win. Any means necessary for you that wasn't listening earlier on. Any means necessary. We come to win. If I got to slap your mama to mess up your nerves to get you a little shaken,
you'll do it.
That's what's going to happen.
Damn, Skippy.
You know, I've slapped people in the audience before. If I got to... Hell, you was over there in May when I made my return to Kentucky. Brother wanted to come out of the audience on Scott Diamond. It didn't end up good for him. And then his mom wanted to cry. It didn't end up good for her.
Damn, Skippy.
So it doesn't matter. We will do anything that it takes because we don't come to wrestle. Let's get that clear. We don't come to wrestle. We come to beat somebody's ass. And if that means we got to punch you in the mouth, run over you with a car, throw fire, it doesn't matter.
And that's a fucking great motto because that is exactly who Diamond Cartel is. You're not here to wrestle these guys. You're here to win.
We're here to win. And you know, when Ray Bruce over the weekend asked Austin Diamond for some change, that's exactly what he got. Because when he popped him in the mouth with that roll of quarters and quarters flew everywhere, he done exactly what Ray Bruce wanted. He gave him change. He done exactly what Ray Bruce was not expecting. He come out to win. He come out to fight. He won by any means necessary.
That's right.
I'm not taking anything away from him. Ray Bruce is every bit of 250 pounds, and he's damn near 7 foot tall. That is a big boy, and let me tell you something. I wouldn't want to see him in a back alley, but I think he ought to be a lot worried about what Austin Diamond is doing in that back alley. Let me tell you something. This guy is the caricature of what people remember about the heyday of professional wrestling. And that's good, that's great, and it's grand. But Austin Diamond didn't go out there to win a popularity contest. Austin Diamond went out there to whip somebody's ass in Cheatham County, Tennessee. I was the baddest man to ever go through Ashland City, and now they know. Because Austin Diamond ran through Ashland City the same way that William Sherman ran through Savannah, Georgia many a years ago. I went down there to prove a point, and that's exactly what I did. You know, Ray Bruce might be going out there to wrestle, but Austin Diamond is going out there to fight for change. That's right. And when I hit him with that roll of quarters, everybody knew that I had just changed the game forever. And so as he stood up and he started picking up those quarters so he had a way for bus fare to get back home, he knew that Austin Diamond and the cold-blooded industry, the cold-blooded killer himself, had just passed him by. Ray, I hope to see more of you down the road. I harbor no ill will towards you. I just hope that you learn something, brother, because I do. I have respect for what you do, and I would like to see you do great things in this world. Just know that it will never come at my expense.
If for you folks that have never been able to see what the Diamond Cartel was about, and for those of you that have not seen the Cole County Crusher or Austin Diamond in action, if you want to see just a little bit about what we are about, go look up some footage of Tex Cobb in a phone booth, because that's exactly what you're going to get. You're going to get Tex Cobb in a phone booth with 1,000 Hornets, and that's what this is about, sitting at this round table right here, right now.
And if I may interject, I would like to represent the Diamond Cartel with this one statement. We're not here to take part. We're here to take over.
Always.
That's right.
It's funny because that's what they used to always say to Scott Diamond. Can't you just go and do your match instead of taking over? No, I can't. No, we can't.
You're damn right.
That is not what it's about. You know what you call one Marine on an Army base? You call it a Marine camp. That's what you call it. And that's the way we operate. I don't care where we go. When we come through the locker room, we're taking over.
And all the hillbilly hicks out there that see y'all, they need to understand something. When y'all come out there, you own the damn place.
When we step into that ring, it's our ring.
Damn Skippy.
It makes no difference. It makes no difference. I don't care who it is. You know, we have been in, Scott Diamond's been in so many rings, I can't even remember them all. But one thing for certain, one thing is a common denominator. When we step into the ring, we take charge of that ring. It's our backyard. You wouldn't let somebody come into your backyard without a fight, would you, Johnny?
Damn right I wouldn't.
And we don't either. It doesn't matter whether it be Austin Diamond, the Cole County Crusher, Scott Diamond. When you step into that ring, that's our yard, and you're going to get bit.
This is not a backyard barbecue. This is business. This is our life. And I want everybody to know something. Austin Diamond eats nothing but protein, baby. I don't have a sweet tooth. But when it comes to proving a point, you can trust me when I say this. I'm not coming for the whole pie every time. Sometimes it's just your share. And I don't give a damn if I've got to pry it out of your hands. I don't care if I've got to hit you from behind to get it. I will do anything and everything. Don't expect me to stare you in the eyes before I punch you in the mouth. Because once you run your mouth, you've already sealed that deal. You've already signed your death warrant. You belong to me as soon as you're within reach. I don't care to hit a man from behind. I don't care to hit a man with glasses. I'll tip you over in a wheelchair. I have no sympathy for anybody outside of my company, outside of my brand, outside of the Diamond Enterprises. Austin Diamond simply does not care what he has to do or who he has to go through.
That's right.
Because I am cold-blooded, which means I'll do anything and jump over anybody to get to where I want to go.
And Glenn Wright, you heard that correctly. If you keep on talking about this man and Scott Diamond, you're going to find out real quick that they mean fucking business.
And then you're going to have to deal with me.
That's right. He's forgetting one thing. He's talking all this crap out of comedy. He said, I think I saw you got put out of the ring in Frankfurt at Miss Elizabeth's show. Well, here's the thing. It's just business between these two. Yes, you saw Scott Diamond pull this man out of the ring, but that's just business. When you talk shit like that, just remember, they've now got the Cole County Crusher with them.
And if it doesn't make dollars, it just simply doesn't make sense.
You damn right. Diamonds are forever, and you got to remember that.
Glenn Wright, there's a reason that you run in all these demolition derbies. There's a reason that you stand here on your little device talking trash. Because you've been in too many of these demolition derbies and you got a little bit of brain damage. So, brother, you know if you were in your right state of mind, which you are not. You've been huffing all those gas fumes. You've been getting those cars rammed into you. Brother, if you was in your right frame of mind, you wouldn't be talking that smack. And you can't be that mad and you can't be that bad because you don't talk that smack in front of us.
You know why they call him Glenn Wright, right?
Yep.
Everybody listen up. All right, listen here, you fat SOB. They call him Glenn Wright because he eats his left and right overs. But I'm telling you right now, if you get in the ring with Austin Diamond, I'll knock a few pounds off of your ass. And that goes for anybody.
And he ain't joking when he says that either.
That one was a good one. That one's fun.
You know, they don't get it. You know, they really don't get it. This kid, and I'm not saying this because he's my kid, he's got so much potential. Not because he grew up in the backseat of Scott Diamond's car. You know, there's a lot of times I left him at home. I missed Christmases. I worked every Thanksgiving through the years. I missed a lot. But when he was with me, he was not just watching Scott Diamond. He learned from so many greats. Frank the Tank.
He did?
He learned from J.R. Rock. He watched the Greens, you know, Donnie Green. He watched, Al and Bear Steele. He's watched so many cats come down the line that Rob Terry. He took seminars with Al Snow. He took seminars with Tracy Smothers. He's been on, Shane Douglas. All these people that I have been in the ring with over the years, he sat under those trees of learning. It wasn't just him learning from Scott Diamond. He learned from all these other great names. Hacksaw Jim Duggan, you know, Greg the Hammer Valentine. All these guys, with him being born into this business, he has watched and studied every guy that I have been in the ring with. He didn't just learn from Scott Diamond. He learned from Larry D. He learned, like I said, from the Greens. He's learned from Handsome Jimmy Valiant. He learned from the Boogie Woogie Boy, Gary Valiant, who's been to our home many times. He learned from all of these people. So it's not just the knowledge of Scott Diamond that he has. He has the knowledge of wrestlers from generation after generation. He's probably got 200 years of knowledge swirling around in that young head of his. So when you think, Scott Diamond's a 4-time Hall of Famer, it's not just Scott Diamond that he's learned from. He's learned from all of these other guys as well. That's what makes him so dangerous, on top of the fact that, as we've been saying, he's not afraid to take every one of these guys' knowledge and use it. He will use it anytime deemed necessary because he's not afraid to do an eye gouge. He's not afraid to stick his fist in somebody's mouth and choke them out. He's not afraid to hit them with a roll of quarters. He will take all the knowledge that he's learned off of all these guys.
That's right.
And use it at will.
And
he's got generations of knowledge over there.
Exactly, because that's what you have to do. It's always win by any means necessary. If you got to smack old lady, smack an old lady. If you got to smack down someone with glasses, smack them down with glasses. If you got to kick a man's leg out from his leg, do that too. If you got to take a man by the throat and choke him out, do that too. If you got to gouge his eyes, eye poke him, cross kick him, do it. Because it's win by any means necessary. And that is the motto that Out for Blood is all about. And a lot of people need to understand that.
That's exactly it.
Because y'all came to a fight. It ain't about wrestling. It ain't about locking up. It's about survival. Survival of the fittest.
It is about survival.
We are men of many fields. We come from a diverse background, you see. We are men who you could consider to be jacks of all trades, be it in the mines, be it the mean streets of Newport, Kentucky, be it in the ring, or be it our side venture. You know, people fail to realize sometimes we also work as exterminators.
Yes.
We get rid of all of these pests in the wrestling business. You can run them down. Bryce Phipps, gone. Rock and Roll Jimmy Ray, he's gone. The Zippler, never heard of him again. Simply Rick, simply dismissed. Just the other day, Ray Bruce, fighting for change. You see, we will do whatever it takes to anybody and everybody. And these people just don't understand the scale. They don't understand the magnitude of where we're coming from just yet.
You're damn right.
But it's coming.
Hey, you think that
it's coming?
That's right. Because they need to understand something. This isn't just y'all saying that this is a name. This is y'all letting them know y'all are out for blood. And if anyone gets inside y'all's way, anyone stands in front of you, anyone decides that they're going to try to step up, they're going to be finding out real quick. This ain't just a saying. This is words to live by right here. Cold-blooded.
It's a lifestyle, Johnny.
Damn Skippy.
It's a lifestyle.
And they're going to be bleeding before the end of it.
You know, as he said, I come up on the mean streets of Newport, Kentucky. Before there was Las Vegas, there was Newport. Newport was the Sin City of the South. It was overseen by the mafia. And those are the streets that Scott Diamond grew up in. That's how he had the intestinal fortitude to go into the Marine Corps. That's how he had the intestinal fortitude to go to Beirut. That's how he had the intestinal fortitude to come home and take everything that he learned on the mean streets of Newport, everything that he learned in the Marine Corps, everything that he learned snuffing out rags. Can you say ragheads? Over there in Beirut. I brought it to the wrestling world, and it's been very successful for me. And now, as I said a moment ago, I've passed it on to Austin. I'm passing it on to the Cole County Crusher. Not only what I've passed on to them, everything that all these other guys that they've watched growing up has passed along to them. You know, many a street fight Wildcat Chris Harris and I have had. But you cannot argue again with his track record. 7-time NWA Tag Team Champion.
That's right.
And as a child, Austin Diamond and I really didn't get along at all. Wildcat Chris Harris took Austin Diamond under his wing at an early age, 6-7 years old. You know, he's 19 years old now. That is a long time to sit under a 7-time NWA Tag Team Champion's wing.
You damn Skippy.
And learn from him. And I'm not taking anything away from Chris Harris by no means. Him and I have bumped heads for many, many years. But he is one of the best damn wrestlers to ever step into a squared circle. And he passes his knowledge along to Austin as well. Like I said, Al Steele, Bear Steele, multiple-time tag team champions as well. They've all taken Austin Diamond under their wing at one time or another. Tracy Smothers, you know, he sat at our house. We sat at his house. At one time or another, all these cats have taken Austin under their wing. And he has learned time and time again over the years. He has learned so much. Look. Ray Bruce just found out. Ross Beret found out. All these cats are finding out. Simply Rick, as he said, found out. After he beat the hell out of Simply Rick.
You damn straight.
He not only put Simply Rick out of the business, Doomsday Pro Wrestling has not been seen or heard from since.
Exactly. And that's no coincidence either.
You know what? They jumped out of the pan into the fire, and what they found out is they got burnt.
Damn Skippy, they did.
You know, as he sits here and he talks about Wildcat Chris Harris, that's another guy who understands legacies are not written out in the ink of a pen, but rather in blood. James Storm and Chris Harris took each other to the limits, and it cemented them forever. Roddy Piper and Greg Valentine took each other to the limits, and it submitted them forever. Ric Flair went to the edge of the earth with Harley Race and came back, and we're still talking about him, just like we've been talking about him for the last 50 years. Austin Diamond will blaze that same trail in ways that people never thought about. Because I have what it takes. I am everything I claim to be, and then some, Johnny Lee. You know it. From the time I was 14 years old, announcing at Kentucky Elite Pro Wrestling to right now, everybody took notice of Austin Diamond. They said, this kid's got it going on. This kid's going somewhere. Everybody keep your eyes on him.
That's right.
But just when they take their eyes off, next thing you know, they're counting lights. When the lights come back on, they're thinking, what in the hell just happened? Well, I'll tell you what happened. The Diamond Cartel happened. The cold-blooded killers have just passed you by once more. It sneaks up on you. Ladies and gentlemen, you had better hope that you see me before I see you. Because I'll put you in the ICU.
Damn Skippy. And that's words to live by
Better
right
believe
there.
it, brother. You better believe it.
This is what it's all about right here. The Diamond Cartel.
You know, it's one thing to find out the content of somebody's character, but if you step across the ring with us, I'll tell you one thing. We'll find out the contents of your bloodstream, and everybody's going to see it for themselves.
That's right. Like I've been saying.
Cold-blooded.
Out for blood. Cold-blooded, baby. Cold-blooded. And this banner right here, that's a damn good banner. All of y'all should be taking notes of this. Because these words right here, they ain't just words. That's what's going to happen to you. You're going to be bleeding before the end of it. You're going to find out that they mean what they say when they say, we ain't here to wrestle. We're here to fight.
Johnny, you see the face in that diamond right there?
Yes, I do.
Every person that steps across the ring from these two young men right here, that's what they're going to be seeing in their sleep. Many a night, Scott Diamond left people laying after breaking a cane over their head or whatever the case may be, and they went to sleep thinking of the lights that they were looking at. When these two young men get done, that picture in that diamond, that face right there, that's what they're going to go to sleep dreaming of. That's going to be their nightmare. That's going to be the face, the picture that they're never going to be able to unsee ever again. And anyone that's out there going, oh, well, these cats ain't nothing, you know, they're greenhorns, they're new into the business. All you got to do is step up. Hey, whatever your promotion is.
Step the hell
say,
up.
you know what? I want to shut up Austin Diamond. Hey, I want to shut up the Cole County Crusher. And hey, I would like to put that 4-time Hall of Famer Scott Diamond into retirement for good. All you have to do is step up. Tell your promoter, tell your booker, I want to shut these guys up, bring them in so I can shut them up. And I can guarantee you what's going to happen is you're going to shut the hell up. Because when we get done, you're not going to be able to talk anymore. Probably your mouth's going to be wired shut. You're going to be eating through a tube and pissing out another tube. But if you want to shut us up, you tell your booker, you tell your promoter, bring us in so I can shut these cats up. And I will show you that shutting us up, you'd rather grab on to the end of Haley's Comet, and you'd have better luck doing that than shutting us up.
You damn Skippy, because ain't nobody can shut y'all up. If they want to shut y'all up, they better step the fuck up. Because right now it looks like they're a bunch of pussies just out there talking shit, don't know what they're saying.
Talk's cheap, anybody can do it.
That's right.
And I've always had this saying, Johnny, if you're not living on the edge of a lightning bolt, you're taking up too much space. And as if I may quote Dusty Rhodes, we are living on the edge of that lightning bolt. Because if you're not living on the edge, you are taking up too much space. And these cats right here and myself, and again, to coin Dusty Rhodes, we're living on the edge of that lightning bolt right here, right now.
They say that money talks and bullshit walks. So maybe we do talk just a little bit of shit as we walk high. But let me tell you something, Johnny, it's because we can back it up, and we will. It doesn't matter where you bring us. There is no such thing as taking us out of our element. We are the element. We are the pinnacle, the measuring stick in professional wrestling today. It doesn't matter. Tennessee, Illinois, Indiana, the Virginias, the Carolinas, Georgia, Florida, Austin Diamond will come to where you are just to whip your ass. It doesn't matter where it is. The Cole County Crusher will come to your home just to whip your ass. And we learned it from a wise man sitting right here with us today. And the difference is we've got just a little more time to do it with. We've got just a little better blood pressure. We've got just a little more drive, just a little more gas left in the tank. So Scott Diamond, maybe it's time for you to take it easy and let us have this. Maybe it's time for you to sit back and watch us do what we do.
I really don't think I'm going to have to do much to pass on a little bit of knowledge because I got faith in these kids right here. And
That's what I'm talking about.
If you don't want to take an old man's word for it, you don't have to. Because you can go again and ask Ross Beret. You can ask the men that Cole County Crusher's been in the ring with. You can ask Ray Bruce. Ask any of these people that these two cats have been in the ring with. And you know what they'll tell you? I got a headache. I don't remember.
But you know
because
what?
they got their ass whipped.
But if you ask their family, I'm sure they'll tell you a thing or two about what we do.
You know what
right.
you have, Johnny? When you walk into an arena, I've seen it firsthand in the Marine Corps. I've looked over and I've seen the fear in men's faces. I stepped into the squared circle. I looked over and I seen fear in men's faces. And nowadays, when we walk into an arena somewhere, I see the family member of whoever we're getting ready to step into the ring with, and they're automatically hitting 9-1 on their phone and just waiting to hit the last one. That's when you know you got them whipped. Because if you can whip them mentally, you don't even have to touch them physically. But we do because we enjoy it.
That's right.
You know, we live in so many people's heads, that they ought to charge us rent.
You're right. Because when they see y'all, they know already their ass is grass. They just don't realize just how bad their ass is going to be grass. Because when y'all step inside the ring, it ain't about wrestling. It's about tearing them apart and making them a bloody mess.
It's about W's and L's. And we're all about the W's. Because with the W's come championship opportunities. And opportunities to win championships. When you win those championships, it's about money. And that's what it's about for us. We don't need championships. We don't need that.
That's right.
But we go out and we take those because there's where the money is at.
Oh, no. Glenn Wright's back here. Also talking shit. He said, I got a wheelchair you can borrow, Scott.
Well, I'll tell you what, Glenn Wright. I don't want to take that wheelchair because I know you've had some special modifications made to it. So why would I want to take your wheelchair that's got a damn dildo sewed in the middle of it so that every time you sit down, you get the jollies that you can't get anywhere else?
That's right,
Look,
baby.
let me tell you, you are what we call continuity. You suck so bad you create a blow. So won't you go back down to the bar and order your vinegar and water, you douche, and sit up to the bar and sit in your wheelchair with your little dildo sewed to the middle of it, get your jollies drinking your vinegar and water.
Glenn Wright, I'm about tired of people like you. I'm a hardworking man and I make a lot of money. And my tax dollars shouldn't go to people like you who are buying Snickers just to eat it with the veins down so you can feel them on your tongue, brother. I tell you what, how about you sit down, get off of the internet that my tax dollars pay for, and mind your own damn business while men are talking.
That's right.
He didn't have a good upbringing, Johnny. Because
That's
if
true.
he did, he wouldn't be speaking while men are speaking. What he needs to do is go back to the corner of that one room that he sits in, that he lives in, turn himself around, look into that corner, and play with the dust like he does 7 days a week. Because we ain't got time for that stuff.
That's right. See, they don't understand. The Diamond Cartel is someone that you don't fuck with. Just like Austin Diamond's Alpha Blood. You don't fuck with that. Because that right there is not just a word.
You see,
Especially-
everybody, go ahead.
Especially from a guy that puts his damn underwear on backwards.
It's like this. Everybody has words to live by. Some of mine include diamonds are forever, out for blood, cold-blooded. You know, some of Glenn's include extra veiny, please. Well, let me tell you something. I'm like a cardiovascular massacre, brother, and I'll wear your ass out.
And that's cold facts right there.
Cold facts.
Something that a lot of people need to understand because they're talking all this smack. But when the Diamond Cartel is right there, face to face with them, they seem to lose their edge. They seem to lose that talking
Because
smack
they
ability.
don't have miles and miles between us. They don't have that keyboard for them to peck on when they're standing nose to nose. They want to know, can I get you another Manhattan, sir? Can
That's
I go
right.
over here and shine your shoes, sir? Can I go out and wash your car, sir? But when they get behind that keyboard, they're tough. But the only thing that's tough is the calluses on their fingers because that's the only way they fight.
That's
click,
right.
Click, click, click.
That's
Next
right.
thing you know, you've got a TKO in Salina, Tennessee, and you never hear from him again.
Exactly.
Gone. Out. History.
Guys, this has been a fun episode, actually. We've actually come to 1 hour.
No kidding. Well,
Yep.
Johnny, before we wrap up and things, I want to let the folks know they can find Austin Diamond in Tennessee at OWA. Scott Diamond is down there doing a little stuff down there as well. And I've got a big announcement right here, and I've been saving this. I haven't put out the promo yet. I haven't told anybody yet. Austin knows this. He's the only one who knows this. Actually, even the Cole County Crusher does not know this yet. Everybody knows. If you've been anywhere around Scott Diamond in the last 10 years, they know Wildfire Tommy Rich and Scott Diamond's relationship.
Yep.
You're going to get a scoop right here because nobody else knows this. I'm telling you right here, right now, Scott Diamond is going to be at Wildfire Championship Wrestling. That's a scoop right there, fans.
Oh, shit.
That's a scoop. I'm headed to Wildfire Championship Wrestling, September the 13th. Look it up. Look at the marquee. Look at the banners. Scott Diamond will be there. and he'll be there with the Wildfire Heavyweight Champion, Onyx. Scott Diamond and my longtime friend, we will be there again with the franchise, Shane Douglas.
Oh, that's big.
I'll be over there. Of course, I won't be on the same side of the ring. Ricky and Robert and I have never seen eye to eye. We've done many TV shows together, but we've never seen eye to eye. But I give them their due respects. One of the greatest tag teams of all time. Scott Diamond will be at Wildfire Championship Wrestling, not only with Onyx, not only with the franchise, Shane Douglas. The Rock and Roll Express will be there. Kerry Morton will be there. Adam Newson will be there. Wild Bill Rich will be there. And you're putting the name right onto that marquee with all of these great names will be Scott Diamond. And believe you me, Johnny, this, my friends, this will not be about business. This is personal.
Hell yeah.
You know, all this talk about legacies going down in cold blood must have Scott Diamond getting fired up.
Somebody say something about getting fired up. I'm going over there to the Wildfire Championship Wrestling, and I'm going to show them what Scott Diamond can still do.
And
That's
October 14th, I'll be coming back to the arena there in Jeffersonville. So I've got a couple of things I'd like to let the world know. Ken Willis, you had better watch your six, brother, because you and I have some problems. There's one thing that Austin Diamond doesn't like. Austin Diamond does not like when people try to rob me of my due diligence. And every time that I go to see those Jeffersonville jerk-offs, as much as I'd like to see everybody die in that building, I get robbed. All Pro Wrestling. Matt Douglas is another one. How dare you call me a crybaby? Austin Diamond has never shed a tear a day in my life. I came out of my mother straight-faced and talking back because my daddy was a green-eyed mountain jack, brother. And I'm coming to All Pro Wrestling, and I hear that old Piper of GK Fam is going to be in the house. Well, let me tell you something, too. Austin Diamond has no love lost for you. I can commend you and your good friend, old Prima Donnie. GK Fam is a force to be reckoned with, be it IWA, Ascend Pro Wrestling, All Pro Wrestling. You cats have been around, and there's nothing that I can do to take that from you. But what I need you to know is I will take everything else from you. October 14th.
It's a Tuesday night. Wrestling is making its way back to Jeffersonville on a Tuesday night. You know the old Memphis boys, they used to make a circle going down from Memphis, Evansville, Jeffersonville, over to Louisville Gardens. And All Pro Wrestling is bringing back Tuesday night wrestling.
Hell
and it's going to
yeah.
be right there, October the 14th, like he said. And Tupac, let me tell you something. Again, you and Donnie, all the respect in the world. But, brother, when you jump on this, it's a whole lot easier jumping on than it is jumping off. And if you remember the last time I was over there, this 60-year-old man kicked you so hard in the face, you're still waiting for your lips to come back. So when we get over there Tuesday night, October the 14th, and you and Austin Diamond's in the ring, the thing that you got to remember, brother, it may be a one-on-one with you and Austin Diamond, but the change difference is right here. The difference is Scott Diamond is on the outside of the ring. And so you cannot believe that you're just going to go in there one-on-one because the dangerous part is on the outside.
Coke County Crusher, you got one last thing to say?
You know, I've crawled through the mines on my hands and knees, building up, trying to make a better life for myself. And after a while, I figured out it doesn't really work out like that. It takes the people on the top to teach people like me on the bottom how to climb that ladder. And with the Diamond Cartel, blood will be shed, coal will be crushed, and so will a few faces. But I'm going to climb on the top to myself. And there's nobody on the top better than the Diamond Cartel.
That's right.
Where can the people see you at, Cole County?
Well, you know what? I'm going anywhere that the Diamond Cartel is going. So
That's what I'm talking about,
Hell
baby.
yeah.
Follow the bloodshed and you will see the Cole County Crusher. Follow the bloodshed and you will see the cold-blooded killer, Austin Diamond. Follow the bloodshed and you'll find the manager of champions, the four-time Hall of Famer Scott Diamond, and the cold-blooded killers. You'll find the banner waving, brother. You will see evil, mean, and nasty. You will see clean cut and classy. October the 14th, let me tell you something, Tupac and Biggie, it'll be all eyes on you until the EMTs leave with you, and then it'll be right back where it belongs, with us.
That's right. And if you're not having fun,
You ain't getting none.
damn skip, because out for blood, baby.
And I've got my 498, so you know I'm getting mine, baby.
Hell yeah.
They say that you don't know what you're doing until you get hit in the face. But I say the minute you get hit in the face is the minute you're standing across the ring from the Cole County Crusher. Because I'm going to make you realize the mistake that you made every minute of that match.
That's right.
I'm going to make it a fight, and I'm going to make sure you crawl on your hands and knees just as I did when I began my career in the mines. And I'm going to make you beg for mercy, but I'm not going to give you any. Just like Nick Depp without his manager, there will be no mercy.
Hell yeah, brother. And with that,
No mercy, Daddy.